Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We're a very funny wrestling podcast out of Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the bell. All the cool stuff that you can do on YouTube, including comment. We like the comments. Follow us on TikTok. Also follow us on Blue Sky. We're all over the place. And your favorite podcast app. Dusty.
Yes.
We have delved once again into some WCW bullshit, and we were watching this, just so you guys know, we're watching this because Dusty did better at his WrestleMania picks than I did, and I really didn't take my Night 2 picks, like, seriously. I forgot that we do stuff like, so I was like, okay, we picked almost the same thing Night 1, I'm just going to be super contrarian, man. Night 2, I'm going to pick fucking Rusev to win the what was it? The ladder match he was in.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
I picked Rusev to win
the
the ladder match
where he didn't even get an entrance.
Didn't get an entrance.
He went from tank to not even an entrance.
Yeah, boy was that bitch wrong. So Dusty picked Starrcade '92, and Dusty, can you tell me why you picked Starrcade '92?
Yes, it's because there's not ever going to be a reason story-wise or like in the annals of professional wrestling, if we're covering the big events, any reason to touch Starrcade 92 or even talk about Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery. But I have such a soft spot for this before Hogan gets to WCW, like the 1990 to the 1994 era of WCW, which is so bizarre for so many reasons. Like it warms my heart because like they're trying so much stuff, and there are elements of this that are exceptional, but they can't get out of their own way with some WCW bullshit. And it's just so funny to me and fascinating. Like this is almost like going back through the ancient civilizations and being like, oh yeah, the Egyptians did build the pyramids, but they also took people's brains out through their nose. You know, like you gotta take both things together to really understand. We're sifting through the gold and the bullshit that would have been early WCW.
As soon as I started this thing, and they were like, lottery picked tag team tournament, I went, God damn it! I need to take those picks more seriously in the future.
Hey, because guess what? There's an endless supply of WCW bullshit that I could pick through that you would have to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure Halloween Havoc 91 wasn't the best thing in the world. I mean, 92 wasn't the best thing ever either.
No, that's Jake the Snake versus Sting in a spin the wheel, make the deal match, which we someday we will also talk about. But
can you tell me real quick what a spin the wheel, make the deal match is?
Well, it's again classic WCW. So you have your combatants, your big main event match, and then you have a wheel, not unlike a wheel of fortune situation where it has a bunch of match types on it, and you spin that wheel, and then those guys have to wrestle in that match. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think you might want to lean the odds a particular way to have an interesting match out of this spin the wheel, make the deal situation? Like
you probably, if I were to do that nowadays, it would be electronic and completely faked for the match type that I want it to be. But back in the day, I'm sure there was a way to gimmick a wheel.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing they just fucking spun a wheel and
ungimmicked
oh man,
the wheel in 1992. So in 92, spin the wheel, make the deal ends up being a coal miner's glove match between Sting and Jake the Snake. Coal miner's glove, zero reason for that match to be the match type. There's not anything in the storyline that would predicate needing a coal miner's glove to settle this score.
What the hell is a coal miner's glove match?
there's a
And
poll.
everybody, sorry, we're gonna get right to Starrcade 92. I just need to hear. There's a poll.
There's a poll, and on that poll is a coal miner's glove, which is loaded with some sort. It's heavy. It's heavier than a regular glove or your fist. And whoever climbs the pole and gets the glove can then use that glove to hit his opponent with it, therefore having a harder punch than his opponent would have.
Oh my goodness gracious! And then does sometimes a guy without the glove win? How many coal miners glove matches have you seen?
There's only one that I've ever seen.
Really?
I guess it's it's like an old time Southern gimmick, I would assume. But there's only been one on pay-per-view because that match type stinks. It's like our classic John Tenta versus Big Bubba Rogers sack of quarters on the pole match, or no, it's silver dollars on the pole, because like no one cares to see that. I hate you so much that I hope I can climb a pole and grab some silver dollars to hit you in the face with is not a compelling reason. There it is.
There it is. So it does have some sort of apparatus on there that's just beyond. Yeah, it's beyond the coal mine, just the leather. You know what I mean? But all right, that sounds like that stinks. I'm sure we'll watch that at some point.
That is
Starrcade 92.
Starrcade 92. I unfortunately have to lay the idea of Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery, at the feet of one of our favorite men of all time. You want to guess who the visionary of Battle Bowl is?
This is the thing, man. I love Dusty Rhodes. I do. Yeah. And this is Dusty Rhodes. And Dusty Rhodes. But listen, Dusty Rhodes dared to dream. Like that's why that was his name. You know, he was down to be like, you know what, man? I trust my guys. I'm gonna come up with an idea, and they gonna make it gold, baby.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't make it gold, baby. But I still love them. You know, that's.
Will I take 1 million lethal lotteries for one War Games? I will do that. He also invented the War Games. But a key component to a Dusty Rhodes creation seems to be like the name is a name with another name. Like War Games is War Games, the match beyond, and then Battle Bowl is Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery. Like it's two. It's
Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery, baby.
Yeah. So this concept was invented in 1991 as a way to spruce up Starrcade, which was the marquee event for WCW, but they're always looking for bullshit to tack on to it to make it seem more important. If you'll believe it, the original Battle Bowl was all Battle Bowl matches. The original Starrcade 91, it's just the lethal lottery. So we can talk about the flaws in this match, this design type, but that's a big one. You can't promote any match because it's a random drawing that's supposed to happen.
You have no idea even who's going to make it in the end one.
The stars will be out tonight. That's it. That's all you can say. Who will team up with Sting? Will it be Flying Brian Pillman?
Not even we know.
Yeah. Will it be Michael P.S. Hayes? No, it turns out it's Abdullah the Butcher.
So that's actually one question that I have. Based on some of the things that they said during the show, I do assume that these matchups were gimmicked. Do you know?
The rumor is that Battle Bowl 91 was legit. The drawings were legit, which I find to be believable from a WCW standpoint, but kind of incomprehensible because Jimmy Jam Garvin and Michael Hayes end up on opposite teams in the first match, which seems too good to be true for it to be a random drawing, you know? But then if they did it that way in 91, it stank. So then in 92, they were like, hey, let's gimmick these up a little bit. But that's another problem with Battle Bowl is it's either too convenient or it's shitty because there's no storylines and there's no interesting matchups because you can't predict what match you're going to get.
Actually, yeah. Let's. We've talked a lot about the Battle Bowl concept. Will you introduce the Battle Bowl concept to these people? These lovely people that are listening to this show.
So, if you haven't picked it up, the first part of Battle Bowl is the Lethal Lottery. The Lethal Lottery is every wrestler that's involved. Names are put into a bucket or a spinner wheel or whatever, and they draw 2 random names, and those are now a tag team. And then they pull out 2 other random names, and that's a tag team. Those 2 teams face off, and the winner of that match gets to move on to the Battle Bowl portion of the night, which is an over-the-top rope battle royal. For what prize, Andrew? What these men are putting their lives and their livelihood on the line for. Ultimately, what is the prize of the night, Andrew?
I don't even know. You're the king of the Battle Bowl. What was it?
You get a ring.
You get a ring. That's what I forgot. Yep. It was so long ago because they had. Yeah, you get a ring. You get a ring. Not Hammer and Hank Aaron there.
Yeah, not $100,000 in a ring. Not a future world title match in a ring. Just the Battle Bowl ring. And as we'll find out, you have to wait an entire year to be awarded the ring for Battle Bowl.
I wonder if Sting still has the ring, or if Bill Watts was like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna need that ring.
I actually need to pay off some things. I'm gonna need that ring back." So Battle Bowl 91, the original Battle Bowl, 9,000 people were in attendance. That did a buy rate of 155,000, and it was one.
I'm seeing the numbers for Battle Bowl too right now.
And the Lethal Lottery was won by Stang. In the end, surfing right to that victory. So 92, they do make some improvements. They either ungimmick it, or they either gimmick it compared to 91, or they just make better matchups for 92. And they add other matches that they can promote with guys who who the opponents are. So the slight improvements in 1992's Battle Bowl, at least on paper. In practice, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But this took place on a Monday night, December 28th, 1992. We're at the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. 8,000 people in attendance, so we're down 1,000 people.
Yep.
And the buy rate, 95,000. Tough times for the Battle Bowl.
Quite a bit less than than that last one. And the tagline for this one, do you have the tagline? I've got it right here.
Go ahead.
The ultimate challenge of skill, luck, and survival. Only one man can survive.
You don't want survival and survive that close to each other.
Yeah, we're looking for a winner who can win. It's redundant, bitch. Right. It's also long. There's a lot going on here, and it's kind of like this. It's kind of like the tagline's kind of like the whole event. It drags on, and we see a lot of the same things too many times.
Yeah. So WCW 1992 is a very interesting. They're in an interesting situation because Kip Fry, who was previously the president of WCW, is now gone. He was, I believe, was he the Pizza Hut guy? He might have been the Pizza Hut guy. There's a guy who ran WCW for a little while who used to be the head of Pizza Hut. Ric Flair, gone. He has left to the WWF. And they keep chanting for Ric Flair at every WCW event because he's their guy. So they bring in Cowboy Bill Watts.
It's a Where's Poochie situation.
It's a Where's Poochie situation. Oh, Poochie's on the other channel winning the Royal Rumble in 1992.
He went back to his home organization.
Yeah. So they hire WCW decides to hire Cowboy Bill Watts, who is a famous wrestler.
Jim Herd was the Pizza Hut guy.
Jim Herd was Pizza Hut guy, who's the guy that that wanted to change Ric Flair into Spartacus.
Yeah,
and hated Ric Flair, and also hated the Midnight Express. Just hating all your best talent. Yeah. It was a great thing to do.
He probably hated pizza too.
He probably was not a fan of Pizza Hut. So Jim Herd was a Pizza Hut guy, but Bill Watts is replacing Kit Fry, who replaced Jim Herd.
Yes.
So Bill Watts comes in, famously a very popular wrestler, but more famous for being a booker in the 70s and 80s of Mid-South Championship Wrestling, which pretty much invented episodic weekly wrestling shows, like not just squash matches, but ongoing angles, ongoing storylines, and like title changes on TV. Bill Watts is very well known for having a very good wrestling mind, at least in the 70s and 80s. He comes into WCW and immediately wants to take it back to the territory days. In a lot of ways.
He wants to bring back wrestling. He wants to make wrestling great again.
He wants to bring back, very well said, he wants to bring back wrestling. So he had the 10 commandments, Bill Watts' 10 commandments installed for WCW. Use of the ring barricades and the ring post is forbidden and will cause an automatic disqualification. Wrestling outside of the ring, discouraged. Not outlawed, certainly discouraged.
You get chewed at. I've been chewed at before.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll appreciate this. No low blows.
Yeah,
off the table. WCW could have stuck with that one once Bill Watts was gone. But
that's just a rule no matter what, isn't it? Like low blows is always like a heel chicken shit thing that'll get you in trouble, right?
Yeah, but low blows for a cheap finish, behind the referee's back or whatever. Like he's saying 0.
Oh, he's saying like organizationally wide. Like this is not just in the rules. Oh, yeah. Okay.
3 strikes and you're out. If you use a low blow, it's a fine. Second one's a larger fine. Third one, out of the company.
Shit.
All wrestlers are due to the building 1 hour before the scheduled time. Again, 3 strikes and you're out rule. Missing an event, except in the case of the most severe injury, is considered a breach of contract. The only excusable exception to this rule is an act of God.
Dude, that's listen, hard. Man. God told me to get real hammered last night. Yeah.
I saw God leading an angel band, a Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band, and I was in the front row, and I was hammered drunk. Wrestlers who are injured and cannot perform are still expected to make the town in order to show the fans that WCW no longer falsely advertises talent. The only exception would be a crippling injury, which does not allow for traveling.
Are you okay? I know you're injured, but are you crippled? Are you crippled? Did you read the rules?
Fraternizing between heels and baby faces in public, not acceptable. Can't ride together, can't eat together, can't go to the gym together, can't be seen in the same spots together. Which is, that's just kayfabe rules, I guess. Which some of this stuff, from what I read, is because Bill Watts was brought in to be like the no nonsense guy to rein in some of these the lazy wrestling attitude that had permeated WCW. There are a lot of guys faking injuries, a lot of guys not making the town, still getting paid on guaranteed contracts, and it was his job to come in and like tighten up the reins. So another big aspect of Bill Watts from the Mid-South days is he would push, like, as his main babyface, generally like the Junkyard Dog or Ernie Ladd, a wrestler of color in the South. So that's why, not why, but like Ron Simmons became the heavyweight champion, as we'll find out later, under Bill Watts' tenure, because a strong babyface of color he always thought drew really well in the southern territories. And it proved out because Junkyard Dog was like his biggest star whenever he was in Mid-South.
Dude, JYD was big. We talked about my brother and his friends from Arkansas, and they're like, Junkyard Dog was at our Walmart one time.
Yeah, Junkyard Dog, huge. And Ron Simmons rules. Perhaps not on this night, but as a general rule, pretty good, the Ron Simmons. So
I do like the Ron Simmons, and I like a lot of the Bill Watts rules. I mean if you miss, I'm gonna shoot you in the head in the back of it. If you miss an event,
right?
We're gonna hang you up by your nutsack. That's the things happen,
right?
But
act of God alone is kind of tough for getting out of a town.
That was pre-COVID. We all know that.
Yeah. So, well, there's a little more Bill Watts stuff later, but we could talk about that as we go. We could start the show. So the show starts. The card rundown makes it sound very exciting. They're like, we got Sting, we got Vader, we got Dr. Death, we got the high flying Great Muta, as it were. We got Ron Simmons. So I'm like, all right, I'm feeling pretty good about this.
That's the crazy thing about all the WCW we've watched.
Yeah.
Is all the WCW we watch, we're looking down the lineup and we're like, holy hell, this is a who's who. And a lot of times they've also got Flair and Hogan.
Yeah.
They've got all these crazy guys, plus, oh, by the way, two of the Mount Rushmore guys of all time, and it still stinks.
Yeah, because it's tough to overcome the battle bolt. So.
That's the thing. And listen, and you've got like what a lot of people think is like one of the greatest wrestling personalities and minds of all time, Dusty Rhodes. Like, do people respect Dusty Rhodes as a booker?
Yes. There's a lot of like when Dusty was the hottest he could be and at the top of his game. There's few guys that booked better than Dusty Rhodes, but he was also, counteracted for his indulgences and some of his more terrible ideas. It's, but they respect
WCW is damocracy. They're damocracy.
Explain to the people.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Damocracy is a supergroup comprised of Scotty and of Anthrax, Sebastian Bach, the Nuge. Who else is in that band?
Jason Bonham, John Bonham's son, on drums, and Evan Seinfeld, the bass player of Biohazard.
Yeah,
that's
so I mean, not it might even be better than Damocracy, but like, and then it didn't end up being something good. You know what I mean? Like, it's if the Traveling Wilburys made the worst music you've ever seen.
Right. On paper, this feels like it should work. You've got a lot of elements that have proven themselves in other areas to be successful. And like, we know Ted Nugent can play guitar. We know Sebastian Bach
got
can sing.
The pipes, bro. Yeah.
Right. We know these things to be true. And yet when you put the collective soup together, it's a no-go. It's no good. So
It's
peanut
butter and meatballs, my dude.
Yep. We get young ass third announcer Eric Bischoff with a WCW special report that Ravishing Rick Rude has a herniated disc in his back and won't be able to challenge for the WCW title tonight. And Dr. Death Steve Williams will be taking his place.
Too much gyrating. And we've also got super young Eric Bischoff. That is his only appearance on this show, and this is basically the day before he takes a much bigger role in this company, right?
Essentially, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not the day before, but you know what I mean. And also, we've got listen, we're talking about all stars everywhere.
Yeah.
The fucking commentary team is JR and Jesse Ventura, and Tony Schiavone is the interview guy. Yeah. It's like, how could you screw this up?
Yeah. And they have Hank Aaron because
and they've got Hammer and Hank.
We meet Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura at the top, and then they bring out Sting to receive his Battle Bowl ring from the previous year. There's Tony Schiavone, Cowboy Bill Watts, and Hank Aaron in the ring. And then first, those are the guys to present the ring to Sting. And then Sting comes out in his robe, which was very funny to me, to accept the Battle Bowl ring. He's like, well, I'm not just going out there. I got to look like Sting if I'm going out there.
Yeah, he's got to let everybody know that this is chill time. You're going to see the show a little bit later, but I'm still going to come out in dressed to the nines. Hammer and Hank looks great. I don't know how old Hank Aaron was in 1992. He wasn't playing anymore. He's got a little bit of gray in his hair. But he, at one point, so he comes out, he gets his Battle Bowl ring, and Hank's like, congratulations, man. Like, and he was like, Hank Aaron, 715 home runs. And then he's like, blah, blah, blah. And I wonder if Hank Aaron immediately in his head was like, 755, bitch. Like, if you're going to.
Yeah, he must have.
715 was the record, but I ultimately hit 40 more home runs after that. I think
I didn't just beat
sure
the guy by one, you know.
Yeah, he quit playing in like the 70s. Man, he looked great at that time. He was let me see, 1934, so he was 58. So he looked great.
Looking good. They have Sting come out, then they throw to Larry Zbyszko and Missy Hyatt, who are another set of How many people do you need to do things on this show? They're like and we start with the presentation. We start with the special report, then we go to the commentators, then we go to the presentation, then we go to the presenters, even though they're not picking names yet because the Battle Bowl contestants for match 1 were selected at the previous Clash of the Champions for whatever reason.
It was just a waste of like 3 minutes of Larry Zbyszko being like, "Hey, I'm pretty cool, aren't I?" And it was just I don't know, man. Like okay, so we said it's Damocracy. I think is a good, but I also think it might be like my dad when he cooks. He wants to gussy everything up so much that he uses too many ingredients. Like when he makes a frozen pizza, that's not cooking, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
my dad throws so many extra toppings on it. He'll get like a shitty like a Tombstone pizza, and he'll get these like canned mushrooms, and like he'll put like a half-inch layer of pineapple. It's like Pompeii. It's completely covered. To the point where the pizza won't cook anymore. Like the crust on the outside gets crispy, but nothing else gets crispy at all.
Nothing else is cooked at all.
That is basically what we're doing here. Because I mean, you're just wasting Larry Zbyszko.
Do you think Larry Zbyszko was standing there thinking, I can't believe in 5 years the guy who did the WCW special report is going to kick me in the head with a piece of steel
diamond plate in his It's going to fly out in the crowd. I'm going to have to sell that shit.
5 years from now, put your money on who's the co-headliner of Starrcade 97 out of this group of guys, and I guarantee you your money would not have landed on Eric Bischoff and Larry Zbyszko.
They would have been like, are you going to wrestle? Okay, so you're wrestling in 5 years at a big show. You're either going to wrestle Hillary Hyatt, Andre the Giant, the ghost of Luthez. Is Luthez dead in 92?
I believe Luthez is dead, yeah.
Or at least they'll be like assuming he will have died by then.
Yeah.
Or the Bischoff character.
The kid who gets the coffee.
Yeah.
Who do you think you're going to wrestle in 5 years?
Oh, by the way, you're going tits up.
Yeah. No, he beat Bischoff.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
So match 1. Good thing they got this out of the way at the Clash of Champions. You want to open strong.
Yeah.
We got heavy metal Van Hammer in a cowboy hat, which is not particularly heavy metal, but you know, and Dangerous Dan Spivey versus Cactus Jack and Johnny B. Bad. Johnny Bad has a confetti popper and also has a cowboy hat, which like 2 guys can't both wear a cowboy hat to the ring unless they're on the same team.
It's like Highlander, but
yeah.
This is definitely, I think they missed a big opportunity for Stevie Ray Van Hammer.
I was going to say, he looks like Duff McKagan, the bass player for Guns N' Roses.
He does look like Duff McKagan.
He looks the Use Your Illusion Van Hammer. Except this match is more like the spaghetti incident. Hey.
It's
look at me.
I do like that. I do like it. Chinese democracy is what it is.
So Van Hammer, R.I.P., recently passed away. One of the weirdest wrestling careers in history. He got scouted by Dustin Rhodes in the first match he ever had for some local promotion. WCW immediately signed him after one professional wrestling match, and then he's kind of just around throughout all of the 90s. He will weirdly pop up in WCW at various points. Never got over super huge or anything. And then late in his career, late at WCW, he becomes a part of the group called the Misfits in Action, which are all, it's like Chavo Guerrero and Hugh Morris from the Dungeon of Doom, and these kind of obviously misfit dudes, but they all have punny military names. So Chavo Guerrero is Lieutenant Loco. One of the guys is Corporal Cajun. It's a whole thing. And they were going to call Van Hammer Private Stash, either because that's just a weed joke, or
that's funny as hell.
I don't know if Van Hammer was known for being a dude who smoked weed or not, or if that was just a thing. But he was upset because if he was Private Stash, that would make him the lowest ranked member of this fake ass military group. So they threw a fit and they changed his name to Major Stash, even though Major Stash is not as funny as Private Stash. He messed up the joke because he wanted a better rank in the fake WCW military.
That is very funny.
You got to keep your eye on the prize.
I'm trying to think what works with Major Pain, but that's going to be taken in a few years.
Yeah. Well, I hate to tell you, but they had a lady in the group, and her name was Major Guns, if you can guess why. So then there were two majors, which again breaks the rule of comedy. You can't have two of the same thing.
Oh, fuck. The Private Stash is so good. I'm just so mad that he had a problem with that.
Yeah.
He also in 2020 was driving drunk and ran over a 5-year-old. So shout out. The 5-year-old survived, for the record.
Okay. Well, that is great news.
We forgive him.
Jesse Ventura accidentally describes this entire night of matchups by saying of the team of Johnny B. Bad and Cactus Jack, hey, what if these two partners don't get along?
Yeah.
That'd make for a difficult wrestling match if there's no cohesion between these two wrestlers.
I hate to foreshadow Jim Ross, but when I was in the teams, we had to practice together to be any good.
Yeah, we had dedicated moves and generally tried to dress like each other. Also, a guy I knew, and we could plan out our match beforehand.
You don't go all willy-nilly in the Frogmen, JR.
Let me tell you, when I was in the shit, JR, the Lethal Lottery was the war itself, brother. So this match sucks. The main thing about it is we have two entries in the mullet contest that I'm going to keep track of this evening. Van Hammer mulleted up. Also, Dan Spivey, kind of, but it mostly is the party in the back portion for Dan Spivey. He's just got like a skullet situation happening.
Yeah, I don't know if Dan Spivey, it counts, but I don't know if it counts to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do though. There was one point where JR was like, "I went hiking with Dan Spivey. He developed poison ivy."
And if you like that, I have a whole list of other things you might not know happened to me.
Did you know all the counselors hated the waiters and the lakes had alligators? I think Van Hammer's hair is not a mullet at all in this.
You don't think so?
No,
right.
That's just long hair, baby. That's just, look, because he's got bangs.
Yeah, because he's heavy metal, baby.
Look at this. He's got bangs. He's banged up.
Okay.
Not Mark Marrow's got a mullet.
The Johnny B. Bad, yeah.
Johnny B. Bad's got a mullet, so we can enter him into the competition. I would say that's more of a mullet. I'd say it's a better mullet than old Poison Ivy too.
I would say that Johnny B. Bad's entire gimmick is just that he kind of looks like Little Richard. That's the start and the ending of it. There's no interiority for Johnny B. Bad's character. We never learn anything else other than looks like Little Richard.
He does look like Little Richard. Middle Richard is what they should call him because he's bigger. You know. I wrote Dan Spivey looks dangerous to a bush light. That's why they call him Dangerous Dan, because a bush light doesn't want to see Dan Spivey coming. I can tell you that.
6-pack of Rolling Rock trembles in fear of Dan Spivey. And then turns out, when you know it, two partners can't get along. Johnny B. Bad left hooks Cactus Jack into a cradle, and Van Hammer and Dan Spivey move on to the lethal lottery. You got Cactus Jack and to a lesser extent Mark Marrow.
I know,
right there.
Yeah.
No, I gotta see Van Hammer again later on tonight.
See what we got to do off the top is we got to swerve them, baby. We got to make sure that the good team loses and everybody's all sad, Daddy. And then people be like, man, anybody can lose tonight. I'm a genius.
That match got. Do you want to guess the star rating for?
I mean, it can't be more than like. It can't be more than 1 star.
6 minutes 51 seconds, half a star for old Dan Spivey.
Yeah, that's
and his cohorts effort in this match.
And everybody who's listening, if you haven't seen this show, just settle into half a star for a couple, just a few more matches.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Half a star. The second drawing gets us the natural Dustin Rhodes and Big Van Vader versus Kensuke Sasaki and the Barbarian. Now, I don't want to foreshadow based on the drawings here, but I would think that former heavyweight champion Vader and the son of Dusty Rhodes probably going to end up winning this thing.
It's also very funny that like they keep cutting to the wrestlers during the picks, and out of nowhere, big ass Van Vader standing there, like closest to the camera, and you're like, I wonder if Van Vader's about to win. About to get picked right now.
He's about to stand up. Also, to keep up kayfabe, nobody gets their theme song, so there's just the shitty Battle Bowl theme that plays for literally every wrestler. Like they took every element of wrestling that would get the crowd to pop and threw it out for random tag team matches. This is also an interesting thing because Dustin Rhodes had been in the WWF for a little while, and Dusty wanted him to stay there, but he was fairly new to wrestling. Yeah, who do you think's going to go next? The guy
who do you think's going to get picked? That's
from that crew. And Dusty asked Vince about it, and Vince was like, "No, he can go with you." And then whenever he's more seasoned, he can come back here and I'll make him a star, which is exactly what happened. So he did, but I think the natural Dustin Rhodes pretty good. I like this era of Dustin Rhodes in
that
WCW.
Kevin Nash right here. Is this Kevin Nash?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Could be, but I don't think so.
Looks like Kevin Nash to me.
Could be a Nash. Don't know for sure.
I do like the natural Dustin Rhodes. I like that. I like the Texas Dustin Rhodes, like the kind of corn-fed Dustin Rhodes. I like that better than Goldust. I would not, if I could flip a switch, make Goldust disappear because I don't think we know Goldust got over. So like I wouldn't do that to Dustin. And be like, no, you gotta be that,
Right.
But
all the best earning years of your career, I'm gonna wipe those away with
because I liked it when you wear jeans.
The Harley Race is out here, which is essentially the highlight of this match. And he's in a tuxedo because he knows Starrcade 92, the Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery is an important evening in the history of pro wrestling. I like that the Barbarian is full on rocking wildling gear from Game of Thrones. A visionary, the Barbarian at this point. He's got the fur on as he comes.
He truly is, and he runs in like a barbarian, man. I'm trying to find him in his gear, a screenshot, but it's hard. And he's got the crazy hair going on. I mean, he's in the gimmick, man.
Yeah. The problem here is Vader is known for being extremely stiff in the ring and kind of beating the shit out of guys. And I, of course, love this era of Big Van Vader, but he is also overly generous in some ways because in this match, hell yeah, Barbarian.
Look at that shit, dude.
He rules. The Barbarian body slams Big Van Vader in this match like it's nothing. And like, you should maybe protect your gimmick a little bit more, Leon. Like I get it, but you shouldn't just be letting the dudes you're gonna beat body slam you, especially considering what happens later on tonight. You're coming back 2 more times. You might want to save that spot for later.
Yeah, you know what? Dude, Leon needs friends, dog. We know this. Like,
someone needs to be able to speak for him.
well, he just needs he kicks the shit out of everybody. So every once in a while, he's got to be like, yeah, man, shit, you can pick me up, Barbarian.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't go out for beers after this? Still no? All right, man.
I heard that Dan Spivey drank all the Busch Light, but I'm sure we can get something around it up. When you know it, the Barbarian accidentally hits Kensuke Sasaki, and he gets rolled up by Dustin Rhodes. Same finish as the first match.
Same exact goddamn finish as the first match.
And then Vader.
We really gotta drive down the idea that these guys don't know how to wrestle together, baby.
Yeah, it's all flukes tonight, baby. Oops, all flukes is the name of this show. And then, of course, afterwards, because Vader's a heel and Dustin Rhodes is a babyface, Vader beats up Dustin Rhodes to make him more susceptible to getting thrown out in the Battle Royal.
It's very funny. Like, at the end, they both get their arms raised. Vader looks over at Dustin Rhodes, kind of shakes his hand, starts yelling at him, and then just super fucking clotheslines him straight dead to the ground. Yep. And then Harley Race walks over, and Dustin's laying on the ground with his arm kind of across his body like that, and Harley Race just touches his arm. And when he touches his arm, Dustin knows exactly what he's doing. Dustin just puts his arm down like this, and Harley Race drops a knee onto his face.
Yeah. Professional.
Dustin was like, "Oh shit, I'm covering it up."
I'm on. Oh, I didn't know I was on the hard camera side. Sell for Harley's knee. 6 minutes 56 seconds. Go ahead and give me that guess, Andrew. Is this better or worse than match 1?
It was better.
Okay.
But it was not much better. So if it's it's 3/4 of a star or like a star, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going again with half a star.
This 1 star. Good work.
Okay,
you were right there. Match 3 is like finally. I was like, there's got to be, with all these guys, there's got to be some good version of this concept, and it turns out it's match 3, which is Barry Windham and the Great Muta versus Too Cold Scorpio and Flying Brian Pillman. Barry Windham looks like the baddest motherfucker to me in the world. He looks like my uncles, but if my uncles were professional wrestlers, because he comes out and he's got the tan and black Harley Davidson jacket on, which looks fucking sick.
Yeah, dude. He is. I've got him on here. I mean, listen. He looks like the guy that you don't want giving you a blank stare at a bar. Like,
yeah.
I would be very afraid of this man at a bar, but you probably have a good time. You know, good mullet. I see he has bangs too, but I do count this as a mullet.
He is on the mullet
really explain
listing.
Why?
Yeah, he's on my mullet listing. He's all like, this is also unfortunately kind of washed Barry Windham. In like the mid to late 80s, Barry Windham was maybe the best wrestler in the world. And at this point, his knees are in pretty bad shape, and the things are starting to go off the rails, but he can still pull it together.
You know what, man? I believe you that he was a fucking killer, because this is he's a certified big fucker. I mailed his family the certificate this morning. But he also is like crazy athletic and moves really well, and like he's very smooth. There was one time when he like slammed a guy, and then he kind of did like he hit the ground and then kind of flipped over into a pin, and it was like just so smooth, like he had done it 3 million times. Like, I was very in this whole. There were a couple guys in this whole show that kind of that's one thing I love about watching all these is like you remember when we first watched Terry Gordy and I was like, that's my guy forever. That's my guy.
Yeah.
I love watching these old things and you see a guy in a different way than you've seen him in the past, and that happened to me for 2 guys in this show, and one of them was Barry Windham. Like, I think he really shined in this show.
Yeah, and I think like that's also the fun of going through these things. It's like, we're never gonna, you can find these discoveries going through these old shows, and I'd like to do a Barry Windham specific thing someday. But like, it's just fun to see him because he is so good, even if he's not at his very best right now. This is also a situation where Barry Windham and Brian Pillman are challenging later for the tag team titles, but when you know it, that fucking lethal lottery on opposite teams right now. What are you gonna do?
It's so crazy how that works,
How
man.
it worked out that way. This is also when I thought Too Cold Scorpio was maybe the coolest motherfucker in the world, because he's the first guy I ever saw do a 450 splash, and his 450 splash is really good, but he also never reached the heights that I thought he was capable of.
He does some cool stuff in this match. I thought, listen, don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
I thought it was Stevie Ray a couple times. I understand that they look pretty different. They do look pretty different. But I'd forgotten that they announced Too Cold Scorpio for this, and I was like looking at my phone, and I look up, I'm like, oh shit, Stevie Ray's in this, and then I saw Too Cold on his pants, and I was like, God damn it! Don't say you made that mistake on the podcast. It's just the high top fade. They have the exact hair.
Yeah. That's the funny thing about this is, like, there's a version of this card that has like awesome Killer Dream matches in it. It's not this version of the card, but there is a version of that, because like Brian Pillman at this point versus the Great Muta is a dream match. I don't know if that match ever happened. I don't think I've ever seen it, but these two guys in the ring at the same time in 1992 could have been spectacular, but instead they are saddled down with this shit ass gimmick. There's a point in this match where Muta straight up kicks Brian Pillman in his face, off a spin kick, and Muta gets some time to shine here. He gets to do the power elbow, where he like hits the ropes and then he really swings his body into the elbow, which always looked cool.
I'm seeing this is the only time they ever wrestled each other. There's no singles matches. I guess this is the only time they're in the ring together.
That's a goddamn shame.
Brian Pillman. There is a really rapid fire chop fest between, I think it was Windham and Scorpio. Am I correct about that?
Windham and Pillman.
It was very good.
Pillman used to throw a mean ass chop. I think Windham punches him to get out of it or whatever, and I imagine Barry Windham was just like, "Stop, fucking chopping me, dude."
Yeah, it was a true good chop fest. It was a good one.
Yeah, coming off the Seth Rollins chop extravaganza we were talking about last week.
I gotta find that shit, dude. I gotta show you guys what that looked like. I know you guys watched it, but you gotta watch it again with my context.
Too Cold gets to hit a spinning leg drop, like he bounced up in the corner and flips around and hits a leg drop. Looked really cool. Best move of the show for a brief time before Barry Windham absolutely murders Too Cold Scorpio with his lifting DDT finish that he was using at the time. He just straight up spiked Too Cold Scorpio, and then, not to be outdone, the Great Muta comes off the top rope with a moonsault to really drive home who's winning this match. And Pillman barely misses on the save, which I also thought was like a nice touch, where it's like he still wins. He still cares about winning this match, even though him and Windham are going for the tag team titles later.
Yeah. Great Muta completely whiffed on that moonsault, by the way. He like completely overshot Too Cold Scorpio and like kind of just hit him with his hand.
Yeah.
But you know what? God damn it, you gotta.
Yeah. Well, and it's a good thing that he was already dead because of that DDT that Barry Windham hit. I always really liked that as a finish. Edge does a version of that now, but I always thought the Barry Windham one, it looked like Barry Windham's really trying to kill you, and the Edge one, for safety reasons, he's always putting guys down flat, which is better, but it doesn't look as deadly as the Windham one does.
I can't remember who Windham clotheslined somebody at one point and just about killed the motherfucker, and I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. Well, it could have been later on, because he does some stuff later on.
I think it was in this match. He was running towards hard camera side, and he just smoked somebody.
This got 6 minutes 59 seconds. What do you think, star rating wise?
I just saw what it was, and I think
okay.
it's a 1 1/4, right?
No. This is
Oh shit!
this is
I was
3 3 1/4. Is what this got.
I was deceived. What do you know? Chat GPT was incorrect about something. That's crazy. That never happens.
What a wild time.
So maybe they have. I mean, maybe Great Muta and Brian Pillman have wrestled each other 15 times because that's what it told me. It told me 0. But yeah, it said 1 1/4 on here. 3 1/4. I mean, it was fun for sure. 3 1/4 is a little bit. I mean, for what 7-minute match or whatever it was.
Yeah,
but it's a little generous, but it was fun.
Yeah. Next up, we got Dr. Death Steve Williams and Stang versus Eric Watts and Jushin Thunder Liger. This is also one of Bill Watts' sins in WCW at the time. Eric Watts is his son, and he was heavily pushing his son, who respectfully stinks. I don't want to be mean to Eric Watts. I don't know that it's his fault necessarily, but he stinks. One of the all-time Nepo stinks in pro wrestling is Eric Watts. But he was pushed to the moon by Bill Watts.
And I never really fault people for that. Like you gotta put your friends on, you know. Listen, dude, if I owned a wrestling thing and my son could do it at all, like look what happened to Dominic Mysterio. He stunk.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So like I would definitely employ nepotism. I just this whole thing was fascinating me the whole time. And one thing that I noticed was Liger was sitting in all the other ones that he was in until this one where he gets picked.
Yeah.
And there's just a Power Ranger standing up in the back on the left screen. Really funny. And I just thought
one guy.
I was just like, when they cut to it, I was like, I wonder who's fucking going for this one. Who's this guy on the right, by the way?
Which guy? I don't know, actually.
I like him. I like his style.
You like the cut of his jib?
Yeah.
So there, for this match, there are all kinds of permutations of this match that I would be interested in. You could give me Dr. Death versus Sting. You could give me Sting versus Jushin Thunder Liger. You could give me Jushin Thunder Liger versus Dr. Death. Any of those matches, I would bet would be good to some degree. Poor Eric Watts is put in the middle of this. Sting versus Liger. Another dream match that could have potentially happened on this show, just not there. I don't know if the point, maybe Jushin Liger owed Dr. Death money for transportation or something. He is killing Liger in this match.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been just good old fashioned American racism. You know what I mean? But I'm just kidding. I'm not. You know. What? I'm not guessing what Steve Williams thought. For the record, I'm joking. Yeah. Did you happen to look up how old Dr. Death Steve Williams is in this match?
I did not, but I'm gonna guess.
Let me like reconfirm, because I can't believe what I saw.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try to get in the mindset here.
I did see it correctly.
Okay,
and I'll try to find a better angle than the one I currently have, so you can see what he looks like during this match. Try to give you a chance here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's this freaking walkout, man? I'm watching the little fucking soy boy walkout real quick right now. All right, here it comes. They're about to show him on the screen, I think. Oh wait, no. Come on, I'm screwing this up. I'm sorry. I'm fumbling this. Everybody, talk amongst yourselves. You know what? You know what? One thing that I thought of though was Dr. Death Steve Williams looks like I'm trying to think how to say this. Like Macho Man would play Dr. Death in the biopic. You know how the biopic always looks a little bit more cleaned up version of the real guy?
Or like Jeremy Allen White is shorter than Kerry Von Erich, but he's playing him in the movie.
God damn it. I just found a good screen of Dr. Death, and he's just showing his ass to the screen. He's not showing his face at all. And you can't judge by his ass how old he is.
No. We hadn't got that technology in '92 yet, so
I'm just trying to find like just a good picture of his face. I'm just gonna Google Dr. Death. I'm sorry, everybody listening. I'm just gonna Google Dr. Death Starrcade.
I just want to put us in the mindset for the mullet off here. We've got Johnny B. Bad, Barry Windham. I'm putting Brian Pillman, even though he has curly hair. I think it's a mullet. It's short in the front, and then it's curly down the back. What do you think about Dr. Death? I had him in my contention
As a mullet guy?
As a mullet.
Yeah, that's a mullet. I'd say that's a mullet for sure. I'm just trying to get a picture of the guy's fucking face. Did they not show the guy's face this whole fucking show?
It's an Oklahoma Sooner mullet.
Yeah, I know they. Okay, he had the match later, so I'll find the match later. Okay. I'll find the Ron Simmons match, but you just have to like. It's like I think I might be playing it up too much. He's not 17 years old, you know what I mean? Sure. But it's like it's unbelievable.
So now, not only does Jesse Ventura point out that these two guys aren't normal partners. Now the problem is Eric Watts doesn't speak Japanese. So it's a twofold issue now of the Lethal Lottery backstabbing you, because not only can your partner not be your regular partner, it could be a guy that doesn't even speak the same language as you. And then you got to face Dr. Death and Sting, who are definitely winning this match. Sting is not going to not be in the Lethal Lottery.
That's the problem. Like Ventura should have been like, here's the thing, JR. There is no way that Dr. Death and Sting aren't going to be at the end of this motherfucker.
I know. Here we go. All right, that's Dr. Death. You want me to guess the age of Dr. Death here?
I want you to guess how old that guy is.
Okay, so I'm going to say, based on it being a thing, he is much younger than I think he is. So I'm going to say that's a 31-year-old Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Yeah, he's 32 years old. That is a 32-year-old man.
Dude, that's a hard living. I played football in the 70s and then became a pro wrestler who's famous in Japan. The 32 years old.
That man is 3 years younger than me.
I just imagine that in a few years, probably around the same time that Eric Bischoff's getting kicking Larry Zbyszko in the head with the diamond plate, this man is getting knocked out by Bart Gunn. I just want you to realize that's the same. Actually, it's probably a year later. It's a year later, 98. Yeah. He gets knocked out, but he's still in his 30s when he gets knocked out by Bart Gunn.
Admit he's as old as me when he's getting knocked out by Bart Gunn, and it's just like that is just incomprehensible that is a 32-year-old man. I know it's a 32-year-old man named Dr. Death, so that would probably
yeah.
But it's just unbelievable. I mean, I'm a big Steve Williams fan as a performer. I do like the Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Yeah,
I didn't know him as a dude, but I do. I'm happy every time he's on my screen. But I mean, it's unbelievable he was 32 years old during this show. Because when I saw him, I was like, man, Dr. Death's looking a little long in the tooth, and this is only 1992. How old was that dude when I was watching him wrestle? I was like, he's 32.
Can you believe that Jimmy Jam Garvin and Michael Hayes didn't want to sell for that man who was in the ring at that time?
Yeah, why were they like?
They were like, we got to be strong. We got to get over. They were trying to be tough guys, and so
I'll sell for Kevin Von Erich.
Yeah. But I will not sell for a guy whose nickname is literally Dr. Death. Into this match, Dr. Death hits a stun gun off the ropes to beat Eric Watts, because that was in all universes. That is the eventuality of this match, is Eric Watts gets beat. Nothing really here except that
stun gun was cool, by the way.
Stun gun was good. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that Eric Watts, his finishing hold is the STF. And this whole match, he's trying to get the STF on Dr. Death. Meanwhile, the guy that's in our next match, who's the NWA champion, also uses the STF as his finish. So maybe don't have the worst wrestler on your card, have the same finishing hold as the guy who's the champion. Just a thought from me, for pro wrestling's sake.
I completely agree, and but it's cool that they put the STF over so hard. It's like if you get that hold, it's over. Couple things though. I did not know the STF was a thing at this time. I wasn't under any delusion that John Cena invented the STF.
Sure.
But I didn't know it was like a big thing. I looked it up. It's the step over toe hold or face lock.
Yep.
So ST, the step over toe hold face lock. That's too many words. That's six words.
That's why marketing STF clean.
STF. And makes sense for John Cena to add the U to it. I would have done the same goddamn. But
he's sitting at home. He sits upright in his bed in the middle of the night. I could just add a U. Of course, I could have always just added a U.
That is so ruthless aggression.
9 minutes and 8 seconds. This is the longest qualifying match of the night because, of course, it is. What do you think the star rating was for Sting and Dr. Death versus Eric Watts?
It's definitely not 3 1/4. 2 1/4.
It's got a star and 3/4.
Yeah, that's close enough. That was a half
about a star
off.
of that is that stun gun. Really exceptional stun gun.
It was a really dope stun gun, and you got to give little Watts boy. I mean, it takes 2 men to stun gun, you know. So,
yeah. Well, I heard, I've seen it written in all the ancient texts. One man alone could not stun gun.
Yeah.
So, this is the lethal lottery. These are the finalists for the Battle Bowl ring, prestigious Battle Bowl ring. Van Hammer, Dangerous Dan Spivey, Vader, Dustin Rhodes, Barry Windham, the Great Muta, Dr. Death Steve Williams, and Stang. Adding to our mullet count for tonight, I would like to add Mike Atkins, whose name I had to really Google to figure out who he was. This is referee number 2 on tonight's show. He's the guy with the mustache and the long mullet, who's not Randy Anderson.
I was going to say it's not Randy Anderson.
No, there's another guy.
Because Randy Anderson is on this show, as is bitch-ass Nick Patrick.
Randy Anderson also in the mullet.
He should be in the mullet draw.
In the mullet draw. But no, I'm talking Mike Atkins. If you want to see him, he is the referee of the second match, the Vader-Dustin Rhodes qualifying match. This man does not exist on the internet unless you very specifically can figure out what his name is. Tried every permutation of WCW referee, WCW referee 90s, mullet WCW referee. Got a lot of Randy Anderson, who I do have to tip my hat to, but I'm talking Mike Atkins.
Holy shit, look at these fucking guys. This is unbelievable. They went through like a cloning machine. Look at this. I'll show you right now. Look at this.
Yeah. That's a Michael Keaton multiplicity situation.
Who are those two brothers? That is the Hebners.
They could have ran the Hebners gimmick with Randy Anderson and Mike Atkins.
And listen, this is not on the night, so this cannot decide the mullet off between the two. But I'd say Randy Anderson's got the better hair right here. He's got the flow coming to here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a nice hairdo. Mike Atkins also was a sprint car racer whenever he was not being
hell
a WCW
yeah,
referee.
dude. Imagine being a race car driver and a WCW referee.
Like that man could not have been living his dream any harder.
That's so sick.
I believe he passed away. So big ups to a legend, Mike Atkins, in the mullet off. Had to be recognized. Up next, we get the NWA title match. Masahiro Chono is the NWA champion. He gets a little video package to kind of get him over and to get the STF over, and he is taking on the Great Muta, who we have seen earlier, which is one of the other big downfalls of the Battle Bowl.
And we will see again.
And we will see again. This is the first NWA title match, they say, between two Japanese wrestlers, and two guys that will both be in the NWO. So we've got two NWO members in the NWA title shot here. This is a weird
Was
time
Dr.
for
Death Steve Williams ever in the NWO?
He was not. I looked up every guy on this show to see how many of them actually ended up in the NWO. It's more than you think. It's more than none.
It's probably not more than I think. I can tell you that. Bill Clinton was in the NWO at one point.
This match. So the thing is, the NWA title at this time, WCW is still part of the NWA, so they are putting on the NWA title match, but the NWA isn't really like a big thing anymore, and so there's also a WCW world title. And as we've often talked about, if you have two world champs, you got zero world champs.
You got zero world champs, yeah, 100%
so
true.
The other thing is that Bill Watts told Chono and Great Muta to go have an unexciting match on purpose because he was worried about these two guys tearing the roof off and making the WCW wrestlers look bad by comparison. So he told them to basically take it easy in this title match.
I mean, that explains it.
Yeah, because this match is very slow.
Listen, I made a chorizo burrito during this match. I can tell. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah,
there's so many holds, and there's just not a lot of stuff going on. I was kind of stoked for it because I like Japanese wrestlers. I love the Great Muta. I didn't know a lot about the other guy.
Yeah.
I've seen him, but yeah, it was not my favorite match in the world.
They did the directive, like you said, it's a lot of mat wrestling, a lot of reversals, and not that mat wrestling can't be exciting, it can be, but it was just like a lot of Muta powdering to the floor in between holds and then getting like a chin lock and just kind of sitting in the chin lock. And then towards the end, Muta does hit a superplex, which brings the crowd out of the coma that they were in. And then he misses the moonsault, jams his knee, misses a drop kick off the ropes, and Chono locks in the STF, and that picks up the win for Masa Chono in about 12 minutes. It only makes sense that this match is so bad because both of these guys are great because they were told to go have a bad match. So 14 minutes, 29 seconds. This gets 1 star. It's so weird that you would be like, hey, the NWA heavyweight title, go have a stinker. These people paid their hard-earned money. Don't entertain them because I don't want my guys to look bad.
And it's probably hard because they probably didn't tell them, hey, I need this match to suck. But when you tell them, hey, take it easy, you're probably taking like what could be a 3.5, 4-star match and turning it into a 1-star match. It's not like you can. It's probably easier to do that than it is to be like, hey, and I know they're not going by star ratings, but you know what I mean? Like, hey, go have a 2.5-star match. Like you can't just ease off a little bit. You're gonna overcorrect for the most part, But it was
just gonna go the wrong way.
It was not fun.
Yeah. Then the announcers talk about Rick Rude's injury and that there'll be a tournament for the U.S. title where the winner gets to take on Rick Rude unless Rude is still injured, in which case they will take the belt off of him and the guy who wins the tournament wins the title. And then Rick Rude comes out in his bitchin' denim jacket. Rick Rude looking the most 1992 that he can look. And he cuts a promo about how he's being held down, but he keeps calling it the WCW, which is very funny to me.
It's bugging me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if that's like a Midwest thing. I know Bret Hart's from Canada, but he used to call them the WCW or the SummerSlam instead of just SummerSlam. But he's like, the higher ups at the WCW don't want me to be the champion. Just interesting.
Yeah.
Like Rude looked good here, and I thought the promo was good aside from like the weirdness of that phrasing.
Well, I still call MLB the MLB a lot. Mm-hmm. And the Major League Baseball doesn't sound right when you actually think about it. So like
the World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, but It's an easy mistake to make. It was bothering me. And I like Rick Rude with a mustache. He didn't have the mustache.
He did when he came to WCW, shaved the mustache for like a different look.
Yeah,
so,
we still love him. He's still in the rafters.
We still, all those Georgia, what would they be? The Bulldogs, all the Georgia Bulldogs here tonight. They want to see what a real man looks like. Rick Rude still gets to come out.
All the Georgia sweat hogs out there.
Yeah. So you would think if the NWA title has been told to go out and have a stinker, that by comparison, they must have told Dr. Death and Ron Simmons, hey, go blow them out. We're talking pedal to the metal here to make the WCW title look like the superior type of wrestling. So we have Dr. Death versus Ron Simmons. Pretty sweet robe for Dr. Death. Always look cool with with the red robe when he's coming down to the ring. This match also, in my opinion, stunk in a completely different way. It was also slow and boring, but it was like two dudes, like it was almost, they used to say the problem with the Road Warriors was that it worked best against small, cowardly heel teams that would bump for them. And anytime you had a heel team that was also supposed to be a powerhouse team, all the matches were bad because somebody has to sell in these matches for them to be good. And like a lot of this was just Ron Simmons and Dr. Death trading the same moves back and forth. And Simmons does try to do some selling, like they work on his leg and his arm, but it's just really slow and like didn't feel like it ever had any momentum.
That's actually a really good way to put it, because like it was two round pegs.
Yeah.
It wasn't a round peg in a round hole,
Right.
And it was. I would rather watch this than the match that they had before this, but not by a whole lot. It wasn't great.
And Simmons had won the title from Big Van Vader in like a really cool way. It was supposed to be Vader versus Sting, and Vader injured Sting earlier in the night, so they did a draw. And Ron Simmons' name was picked out, and he wasn't really at the top of the card at that point. But he gets to have this impromptu match with Vader, and he beats Big Van Vader, and it's a huge thing. And he's the first African-American WCW heavyweight champion. And like, I like Ron Simmons, and I think Ron Simmons is a really good wrestler and has could have been a really great world champion. He never got the opponents or the angles to really be able to do anything, and they put the belt back on Vader, I believe, the next night or the night after. It's like 2 days after this, they put the belt back on Vader at a house show. He beats Ron Simmons, and so not a great title run, but I still think like definitely worth the try. And I like Ron Simmons, just not the right time,
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. There's a lot of awkward title reigns in the history of wrestling,
Yeah.
Especially in WCW.
Yeah. This goes.
Surprised Hogan didn't beat him.
This goes 15 minutes and 12 seconds, and then they commit the other terrible sin of this match ends in a count out on the floor. Ron Simmons can't beat Dr. Death.
Listen, there's two sins here, and I need you to explain to me what the hell happened, because they do a double count out. This is my interpretation of what happened. Do a double count out. These guys just start beating the shit out of each other outside the ring.
Yeah.
Then Dr. Death brings Simmons back into the ring, takes him up to the top rope, drives him down to the ground with a knee on the back of his head.
Coolest looking move in this whole match once it's over.
It was dope. Yeah, it was dope. And then the referee goes, no, screw this. Dr. Death is disqualified. Simmons is the winner. And then they're like, no, wait, they're reversing this decision of the double count out. It's the same thing either way. Ron Simmons retains.
If it's a count out or a DQ. Yeah.
Yeah, it made no sense to me to make like a big deal, because Dr. Death was so pissed when they said that he got disqualified. It was like, dude, you weren't going to win the title either way. It was just nonsensical.
Yeah, I think
they won't even pick up on that, Daddy.
The only thing I can think is that instead of it being a double count out, it changes it to quote unquote William or the Ron Simmons won by disqualification because Doctor, and it like maybe it puts some heat on Dr. Death that he's a poor sport. And he's like, if you were going to continue an angle, this would be a good way to continue an angle where they have a rematch with, like some with some violence on the line, but they don't, so it doesn't make any sense. And Dr. Death is just the impromptu replacement guy for Rick Rude. So like, I don't know. I know that Dr. Death was big in Japan at this time, so maybe he can't take the loss because it would affect his drawing power in New Japan. But it's a weird thing where you don't want to just give your guy a win, if he's your champion.
Well, yeah, and I even understand, like, double countouts are flaccid, obviously, and you don't want to, like, I don't know. It's just weird to do a double count out and then do a disqualification and treat them as different things, as if they're like, they treated it on the broadcast as if this was a substantially different ending or outcome, and it was like the same. I don't know.
It's, oh, thank God, Dr. Death was disqualified instead of counted out. So up next we have that got a star and a quarter. So 1/4 star better than the NWA title match that you had to tone down to make sure it didn't blow your other match out.
Maybe
of the
they
water.
knew that this one was going to be a stinker. They're like, I need you to get 1 star on the dot, dog.
We got to be a 1/4 star better here. Up next, we get for the unified tag team titles. The champions are Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas, and they're taking on the team of Brian Pillman and Barry Windham, who are now a team and not Lethal Lottery contestants against each other. So this is actual teamwork that could happen. This is the unified tag titles because they still recognize the NWA titles. Steamboat and Douglas come out with both sets of belts. This is before the Hollywood Blondes. So Pillman had turned heel and teamed up with Barry Windham, and then Windham goes for the singles title, the NWA heavyweight title in early '92, and is basically like, I'm leaving you, but hey, here's this guy Steve Austin, he'll be your new partner. And that's how we get to the Hollywood Blondes. But I think
Pillman was like, oh shucks, oh man,
oh no,
I gotta be with Stunning Steve.
But I think like this screenshot, I think Windham and Pillman look cool together. I think they're a good team up.
Double jackets. I mean, and they're both great wrestlers. Like it's 2 great wrestlers that are very different wrestlers, but that I think this, I mean, and I'll spoil a little bit. I freaking thought this match was great. I thought this was cool.
The Ricky Steamboat's theme is his theme about how much he loves his wife and kids. It's like the opening to a sitcom. He's a family man, which is exactly what you want to hear from one of your top baby faces, is just how much he loves his wife.
It's like when the Beatles tried to hide that John Lennon was married. Like
it's he loves his wife and kids. Yeah, he's a family man. It's like, it's lit. Like if Steamboat did like like he's making a sandwich and then he turned back, that'd be the sitcom.
Yeah, it freezes.
Yeah, the Family Dragon. It's like Full House.
Did Windham and Pillman come out to, was it their tag team theme, or was it like Barry Windham or Brian Pillman's theme? It was like a country, like, it almost sounded like a Brooks and Dunn song, but it was probably made by Jimmy Hart.
I think that's Barry Windham's theme. He used to have a theme called "Smokin'," which was pretty good. But it's it's like a country song. Like you said, this is a really excellent match. The thing that stood out to me is I heard the story about Ricky Steamboat when I think it was from Steve Austin, that whenever the Hollywood Blondes and Steamboat and Douglas worked together, the WCW house shows used to be structured where the Vader and Sting would go on in the middle of the show, and that was like the match everybody had paid to see or whatever, because Vader and Sting wanted to get out of there, and then they would put the tag title match on last, and Steamboat would every night they'd go like 35 minutes or whatever. In the first 5 or 10 minutes, it was very slow. And Steve Austin said one time that Steamboat was talking to him and went, "Hey, here's what we're gonna do. Like, they're burned out from seeing Vader and Sting and whatever else. We're gonna let them go all the way down, and then we'll bring them back up. So like first we have to settle them, but by the time we get to the end, they will care about what is happening. Like we'll get them because the formula is so good. And this is the same thing. Like, this is a classically worked tag team match because there is a long segment of heat on Shane Douglas. They beat the shit out of Shane Douglas for like minutes in this match, and he plays a good babyface apparel. Like, he sells really well for Windham and Pillman's offense. Like you said, Barry Windham's so smooth in the ring. I think the move you're talking about is he hits a superplex and he floats over in like one motion into the pin, which he used to use the superplex as his finish, and that's how he would do it. Is he would like hold the guy up, stand him up for a minute, and then boom, back onto the mat, and then flip over right into the pin, and it always looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked like he'd done it a million times, so that's probably exactly what you're talking about and what I'm talking about. And I said earlier that there were two people who stuck out to me in this pay-per-view that like kind of changed or evolved my opinion of them. And dude, I think Shane Douglas did a hell of a job in this match. Like,
yeah,
he sold his ass off. He hit moves. Like, I don't know. I was really entertained by it.
He had really good babyface fire. The only thing I'll say about Shane Douglas, and this is just a general tip for wrestlers, I don't think that yellow is a particularly flattering color of tight to have without any sort of like accoutrement with it. Like, Shane Douglas is just wearing yellow tights. It doesn't have like a logo or an insignia or anything on it. At least Barry Windham's black trunks have the little BW thing on it to make it stand out.
Listen, he was between gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. He's just a guy.
This is where I paused it is great because you can see how glorious Barry Windham's hair is. Look at this.
Windham has like incredible hair that also looks like it would be the consistency of Hulk Hogan's hair. You know, like it's very thin, but it's long. He didn't get cursed with the fryer situation like Hogan did.
By the way, Shane Douglas should be in the Mullet Championships.
He should also, I believe he is in contention. I have him up here. They put the heat on Shane Douglas. He eventually gets the big tag to Steamboat, and much like Steamboat predicted, the crowd starts going crazy because like they finally get the babyface in, and then they do another set of heat on Steamboat, where Steamboat's the babyface in peril. Like, they really put over Windham and Pillman as a team, and then finally all four of the guys are in the ring. Steamboat body presses Barry Windham onto the ramp, which looked like a crazy bump because Barry Windham landed on his head because he's too tall to take that bump on a ramp. And then Douglas reverses a whip into a belly-to-belly suplex, and he pins Brian Pillman. And like you said, this is probably the best match on this show. This went 20 minutes and 2 seconds. Do you want to guess the star rating?
3.75.
This got 4.25 stars from Dave Meltzer.
I'm happy with that.
I agree with. This is a really excellent.
I'm happy with that.
This is a really excellent match, and the Steamboat and Douglas as a team. Because we watched some of their stuff with the Hollywood Blondes, like they were just a really good babyface tag team, and like had really excellent matches. Next up,
this one was like I was watching this going, okay, so so far there's been one match on this fucking show.
and it wasn't either title match. It was one. It was Too Cold Scorpio, and Pillman versus Windham, and I can't remember Windham's partner right now. But the Great Muta. And so, this has to deliver. They definitely didn't tell them not to have a good match on this show.
No. Yeah.
Weirdly, so we have the Lethal Lottery as a concept, but we also have the King of Cable Finals, which is just another thing that they're tacking on to Starrcade for some reason. The King of Cable, in case you're wondering, is an 8-man single elimination tournament celebrating 20 years of wrestling on TBS. Would you want to have the finals of this on the television station that it's celebrating? Maybe. Who am I to say whether or not
that probably makes sense? I don't know.
That should be the case. The field of participants was Sting, Vader, Rick Rude, Barry Windham, Dustin Rhodes, Brian Pillman, The Barbarian, and Tony Atlas, which kind of peters off at the end there in terms of quality names. So this ran all through November and December on WCW Saturday Night and their Clash of Champions, which are both on TBS. But the finals, no, my friend, you must pay for the finals. You don't get those for free. And that is Sting versus Big Van Vader. They show clips of Sting getting beat up by Vader at some point in the past, and then Vader coming out, or Sting coming out and trying to attack Vader with a 2x4, but not really succeeding in that attempt. I don't know if you saw. They just never could line up correctly for Sting to hit him with the 2x4.
That's the problem with the 2x4. You can't just wail on somebody with a 2x4. You know what I mean?
This again,
Tony Atlas bodied up, by the way.
Yeah,
Huge,
Tony Atlas,
dude.
he was he definitely, like, at a certain point, I think he was like one of the strongest men in the world, like at bench press. He could legit bench press an insane amount.
Big old dude.
If you win the King of Cable, guess what? You get a trophy. So in the event that you won the King of Cable and Battle Bowl, that's 2 more things you got to bring home in your luggage.
Pretty big trophy.
Pretty good trophy. Harley Race is back, of course, which I enjoyed. What do you think is the reasoning for Big Van Vader to be wearing both a mask and a do-rag? Why is Vader wearing a do-rag?
It's 1992. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You tell him to take it off.
Yeah. He was big into Death Row Records at that point.
Yeah.
Take off the hat. There is.
I didn't even, dude. I don't know where I was looking when Big Van Vader was walking in. I never saw the do-rag. This is hilarious.
Egregious. Yeah.
This is a hilarious do-rag. It is. I mean, listen. Typically. And I don't want to be Captain Obvious right now. I just got us demonetized playing 2 seconds of this. If you have a do-rag, right?
Yeah.
You should also have a do.
Yes. It should be like protecting some sort of do.
They're for a thing. There's a reason for a do-rag. But hey, it's 1992, you know? Yeah.
This is Count Sting's 3rd appearance on this show so far.
They knew who their guy was.
I always really liked the Sting Vader dynamic, and I think they had always really had really excellent matches together. And Sting is a guy that I believe could pull off a lot of these power moves that he ends up doing to Vader. Like, if you had not had the Barbarian body slam Vader earlier in the night, Sting's German suplex on Vader would look even more impressive than it was.
Yeah,
that move also knocked Vader's mask off. I always like in Vader's masks matches where he's got to be like, "Fuck, I need the mask off. I can't deal with this right now.
I can't see with this thing on." I think you should leave the Carl Havoc.
Yeah,
I can't see shit out the sides of my eyes. I'm taking the mask off. It kills.
I don't want to be here anymore. Vader is also really good. I don't know if this is selling or real. Really good at beating the dog shit out of Sting. He's just peppering him with shots throughout this entire match. And it's believable. Sting looks like he's getting his ass beat.
You said I don't know if this is selling or real. What it is it's Leon. It's that is what Leon does to people. Yeah. That's what everybody he hits people.
He breaks you down.
But you are right. This truly is like square peg, square hole. Like, because Sting, I almost called him Steve, which would have worked too. Yeah. Likes to work for. I mean, he's the type of guy. He's like a Sami Zayn almost. Like, he works really well from under. He likes to get the heat and overcome size discrepancies, even though he's a big bastard as himself.
Yeah.
And Leon likes to beat up on baby faces, so it's like it's just
everybody's getting
perfect.
to do the thing they like to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing that like makes their character shine the most. So it's not surprising that these guys have a really fun match. And like that was my first note on this match, was just this match is fun.
Yeah.
My second note is Sting is one of the GOAT babyface wrestlers.
Yes, truly, and underappreciated, because like a lot of his work is going to be lost to history, such as King of Cable Battle Bowl match from 1992. Like that's just not coming up on the first search for Sting. It's always in the rafters. Why is it never King of Cable 92? Why is it always hanging out with a vulture?
That's why I have my like resentment for Crow Sting. Like I don't hate Crow Sting in a vacuum. I understand it was a very successful gimmick. It was like one of the most iconic gimmicks of all time. It moved a lot of merch. It was like a big thing, and it created good theater a lot of the time, and it created some really bad theater sometimes. But a lot of time, it was like the best part of the show was when Sting was showing up beating the fuck out of everybody. But it did deprive us of this. Like this, in my opinion, is the best Sting. Like in terms of in ring and all that stuff. Like this is I really would once again I wouldn't flip the switch and change his career, because I'm sure he's happy that he became the Crow. But it's like I'd like to have a time machine, or at least us to have access to the tapes of what it would have looked like if babyface Sting was fighting the NWO and babyface Sting kept wrestling till he was 60, or like I don't know if he could have done that till he was 60, but because it is a very like of the era gimmick, with the blonde flat top. I don't know if that would have stuck around forever, but
well, and this is much more labor intensive than hanging out in the rafters. You got to fight
for sure. Yeah,
you got to fight Leon every night. That's not easy. So
yeah, I don't know if he's wrestling into his 60s if he was being Surfer Sting forever. So that's a good point.
The end of this match, Vader goes to the top rope to try to hit some move, and Sting catches him coming off the top rope with a power slam, and that's good enough to beat Vader, which I also really like, because it's a little bit of a fluke. You still have your big monster, but he got overmatched in this one instance. Which you also don't need to show the replay, because in the replay Vader's shoulder is clearly up on second look. This goes 16 minutes and 50 seconds and actually outscores the World Tag Team title match. This gets 4.5 stars.
Oh wow, this is an awesome match. Like this truly was a 2-match card in my opinion. Like and the 2 matches were really good and a lot of fun. And kind of like didn't fully make up for it, because this is a fucking 3-hour show. No 2 matches make up for a bad 3-hour show. But it was, I was stoked for whatever a half hour of these 3 hours, because I was watching some cool stuff.
Then they show the Battle Bowl trophy. Pretty good trophy, or not the Battle Bowl trophy. I'm sorry, the King of Cable trophy.
King of Cable, watch your mouth. It was a big old trophy. And
I recently checked the internet. Good to know, Sting still the King of Cable, just so everybody knows.
Was he like the last? Was he the? Does that mean this was the last King of Cable?
Oh no, he's the king of all cable still. Take that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, take that, South Park. Still Sting at the top of the mountain. He's in perpetuity the King of Cable.
Here's the trophy.
Pretty good trophy.
I bet he was like, I don't have to take this home, do I?
No,
God damn it.
I'm going to give this to Van Hammer at the end of the night. He could have it.
Thanks, Sting. Hey, guys, I'm the King of Cable.
It's actually me, Van Hammer. For some reason that is completely unknown to me, they throw to Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko for some interview that Tony Schiavone had with Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame player Paul Hernog, and they just cut to this interview Tony's having with him about the importance of Battle Bowl. Like, this dude has any idea what goddamn Battle Bowl is about, or that I would care that this guy's being like, no, it's pretty important. Who is this guy?
I don't know, man. It was like, my thing was like, now to make this show just a little bit longer,
Yep.
we've got a Green Bay Packer. I wonder if they're like, you know, they're like, okay, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do 3 hours with this show. But it was only like a few minutes, so it couldn't have even been that. They just wanted to put a Green Bay Packer on the show, but it sucked. It was not fun.
It was completely bizarre. Show that on TBS. Yeah. Don't make me pay money and then make me watch this interview for no reason. And then finally, of course, the reason we're all here, it's Battle Bowl. We've got Van Hammer, Dan Spivey, Vader, Dustin Rhodes, Barry Windham, Great Muta, Dr. Death, and Sting. Great Muta has had time to reapply his face paint for his third match of the evening. Big Man Vader has found his mask and put it back on. But Sting comes back out. He's not reapplying that face paint. Sting's like, fuck that.
Well, Muta didn't reapply the face paint for his Chono match.
Right.
He came out and it was all messed up. So I wonder if it just got so messed up that he's like, dude, I gotta do something about this.
I gotta do something. Sting gets attacked by Vader on the ramp, and I just imagine Vader being really pissed that he's not the king of cable. He's like, yeah, I've been so much to me. How dare you be the king of cable?
I worked my whole life to be the king of cable. God damn it!
I hear it's just about to take off. The era of prestige television will be beginning soon, and I have to be the king of cable.
I made T-shirts.
Kid says King of Vader. I can't do shit with these. They do a split screen in a classic WCW fashion to show you the action that you can easily see on the hard camera. It's not like everybody else is like these people are impossibly far apart. It makes it harder to watch, actually.
I mean, dude, this whole I was done.
Yeah.
I was done. I don't care who wins the Battle Bowl at the end of this, because I saw 2 good matches, and I knew they were the last 2 good matches, because I don't know, is there a good Battle Royal that isn't a Royal Rumble?
Short answer, no with an if. Long answer, yes with a but. To quote Reverend Lovejoy, it's tough. It's a tough thing because, especially because we've already seen these guys, everybody at least twice. Some of these dudes 3 times in one night, and now the Battle Bowl's only a year old, and it didn't mean anything last year. And now you're like, it's supposed to really matter who wins Battle Bowl, so. Dr. Death throws out Van Hammer. Dustin Rhodes does a bulldog to Barry Windham on the ramp, but somehow neither one of them are eliminated. Sting dumps out Dan Spivey, and then Sting and Vader are eliminated. So our final 4 are Dr. Death, Barry Windham, the Great Muta, and Dustin Rhodes. And Muta's paint is already fucked up again. In less than 10 minutes, he's full on not the Great Muta anymore.
I wonder if some dudes just wanted to mess up his face paint, so they would just go up and just rub their forearms on his face and stuff as a rib. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dr. Death and Dustin Rhodes eliminate each other off of a Dr. Death clothesline. I guess Dr. Death's momentum eliminates him. Too much Dr. Death going one direction. Can't. And then we're down to the Great Muta and Barry Windham, and the crowd is like crazy for Muta. They're chanting for the Great Muta here, and then he hits 2 drop kicks out of nowhere, and Barry Windham is eliminated. So the winner is the Great Muta, which at the beginning of this thing, if you had told me that was where we were going to end up, I don't think that he's not the guy I would have picked out of the field, even though I love the Great Muta.
It's just who cares who won this? That's
at the end of the day, it is a big who cares.
That's the funny thing about this whole thing is you're like title match. Some of them are bullshit titles, but it's title match, and then the fucking cable king or whatever bullshit, which is half a pseudo flaccid title match, and then you're like, all right, we got to figure out who wins the Battle Bowl, and everybody's like, oh goodness gracious,
I forgot
bro.
about the Battle Bowl. I was having a good
Yeah.
time, and then you brought back the Battle Bowl.
Yeah.
14 minutes and 1 second. This gets a 1.5 stars. So, it's barely better than both of these title matches, and it's for no reason. This show is snake bit with two of the least popular concepts in the history of wrestling, which is a one night tournament, which almost never works. That's why the UFC stopped doing them too, because it's like it becomes interminable because you're just seeing the same dudes over and over again, and then nobody's trying extra hard.
And even in MMA, there's an allure to a one night tournament because it's like the ultimate test of will. These two guys are tired, they're beaten up, they're bloodied, and you kind of try to like recreate that in wrestling, but you can't. Like, you can't have a guy come out and he's got a black eye, or like you can, but it's like because something bad happened you didn't intend to happen. But like,
right,
it doesn't have the same allure to it, so it's just another time seeing this guy, and not even another time seeing this guy going, oh man, that's actually the worst thing. Like, you can be like, oh man, I know I've seen the Great Muta today, but I can't wait till he wrestles Sting later. And like, but no, I'm gonna see him in a battle royal against everybody. Like, I don't know, it's just flaccidity abound, bro.
Yeah, it's a one night tournament and a battle royal, which are both concepts that are hard to get over unless it's the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is the Jaws of battle royals. It's the one good one that proves the concept doesn't really work. You know, like there are no other good shark movies. There are no other good battle royals. And so it's baffling considering the talent on this show. Like we said, there's so many Hall of Fame dudes on this card that you could put a compelling wrestling show together. But there's 4 mystery tag team matches that then result in a mystery battle royal. You told one of the matches to be bad on purpose, and then you have 2 good matches. But it's interesting. I also wanted to do this show to juxtapose this. Remember WrestleMania 9? WrestleMania 9 takes place like 4 months later after this show in 1993. And this, even with how bad it is, this match has 2 4-star plus matches. This blows away the the WrestleMania on wrestling, but they look like completely different entities. Like, this is in a dark room. It's like there's no pomp or circumstance or anything. And WrestleMania 9's outside. It's sunny. They're in Vegas. Like, it's got all the pomp and circumstance. But they can't.
They're setting everything up.
Yeah, but they can't put one good match together. So that's always the curse of WCW. Like, they will blow you 100%. Away. They'll blow you away with 2 matches. You know?
Yeah, and that's actually perfect because, like, I would rather watch WrestleMania 9 again any day of the week than watch this show again. And like you said, this show had, like, I don't know if any 2 matches in WrestleMania 9 get a 4.25 put together. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
And we both like good wrestling. Like, we both we were both really enjoyed those 4+ star matches in this show, but it was like, it was just so grueling.
It's a war of attrition for bad WCW. At least bad WWF, it's kind of, they kind of keep it moving, and then you get a Doink the Clown every once in a while.
And you get Bobby Heenan, and like it's just, god damn, bro, it was. Throw a Paul Bearer out there at some point.
They really put it on you. So, like I said, Ron Simmons loses the WCW title a few days after this, and then the Great Muta wins the title from Masachono in Japan at the beginning of 1993, and what I have to assume is a much better match than the one we saw. And then Barry Windham beats Muta for the title. So they were kind of foreshadowing this one-on-one match that was going to happen at Super Brawl 3, which also featured, if you'll remember, the vignette we watched for Sting and Vader at the White Castle of Fear. That happens at Super Brawl 3.
Jesus Christ.
So
Eric Bischoff saved this company.
he becomes WCW president in February of '93 after Bill Watts is ousted for some truly heinous comments that he made that he's been trying to say were taken out of context for years, but it's tough.
I thought he was ousted because the product sucked. I didn't know he said some stuff.
It's quite a few things, but Hank Aaron got the interview in front of him, and Bill Watts was not long for this world. I don't even want to really discuss his. He was.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm not. I won't. I won't say it online. I'm on the air. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, not great. Good at wrestling, bad at all the other stuff. Bill Watts, it turns out. So, but that's
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll get you fired. Even in 1992, that'll get you fired.
Yeah, that's and
Ted Turner was so mad. I'm sure. We're based in Atlanta.
Yeah, Hank Aaron's the head of baseball operations in Atlanta. So and that kind of ends a lot of the good in-ring stuff. Because 93 WCW is also a slog. Someday I'm sure we'll watch one of their shows. But it really is. Bischoff had the vision, and after Bill Watts, they didn't want to hire any more wrestling people. So they were like, Eric Bischoff he's in WCW, but he's the least wrestling guy here. And so Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross were both passed over for Eric Bischoff, and Bischoff's the only guy who ever made any money in WCW. So even though I don't know that he presided over a card that had 2, 4, and over 4-star matches, But,
and we've been rightfully critical of Eric Bischoff on both versions of our podcast, and I stand by that. I think a lot of the decisions he made, like the initial decision to create the NWO, was a really smart one, obviously, but then a lot of the things they did, they really just shit in their shoes constantly. But
WCW will WCW every single chance they get.
Would you rather watch? Well, maybe you might be a special case, but would you rather watch Starrcade '92 or a random pay-per-view in 1997?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, at least then, and you've got the luchadors, and like the crowds are hot.
Boys.
Yeah, the crowds are hot, and like it's better lit. It looks, there's a lot of positives, but this is also a special era. Like you said, you're gonna find a gym like the World Tag Team title match or the King of Cable final that you're just not gonna find in some of these other things. It doesn't justify like watching every one of these old WCW shows, but like occasionally there is a secret kind of gem or masterpiece within all of the other schlock that has to do with Battle Bowl. So that's why we had to do it, the good and the bad. We're here to shine a light on everything, and 100%. I had to show you one Battle Bowl just for the novelty of it.
And it's still wrestling history. Were there subsequent Battle Bowls?
Next year, Battle Bowl got its own pay-per-view. They took it away from Starrcade, so then it's just Battle Bowl. Vader won that Battle Bowl. And then in 1996, they brought it back, and Diamond Dallas Page is the final recipient of the Battle Bowl ring. And that's that they do that literally right before Hall and Nash get there. It's like the last "this is just WCW" show. Because
I wonder if he ever got his ring then, because
Hogan's not even.
I wonder if they ever. I wonder if he ever got his ring then, because don't they give it to him at the next Battle Bowl?
No, he got it right away, and then there was like a storyline where someone stole the ring from him for a while, and he was trying to get it back. So that don't worry,
the goddamn Battle Bowl ring back.
I think this was during your favorite era of DDP, broke DDP era, and so he won the Battle Bowl ring, and he would now he needs it back so he can hawk it if necessary.
I love broke DDP. That whole couple years of DDP was some great work.
Yeah, that's coming out. So I don't know what we're going to do next week necessarily. I have a couple ideas kicking around. We have a 50th episode coming up. We got big plans for the 50th episode. But like Andrew said, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate everybody who leaves a comment, who watches, who takes the time. We both appreciate it so much. And you know what, Andrew? Keep an eye out for that Battle Bowl ring. It's coming in the mail, dude.
That would be so sick. By the way, my vote for best mullet, Randy Anderson.
Oh yeah, we definitely like the Battle Bowl ring. We must give out the best mullet of the night. I will agree, Randy Anderson. He kind of ran away from the field in this one. You know,
yeah.
He
I mean, it's a good, it's a curly mullet. It's almost like an Ice Cube-esque mullet. He looks exactly like Max Holloway. You know what I mean? Like yeah. I'm on board.
We stand a legend, Randy Anderson. You know.
All right, we love you guys.
Peace out.